Hey everyone, in today's video I'm going to be telling you how you can get input data from an HTML form into Google Sheets. Let's get right into it. So first off, we'll go into our Google Sheets. We'll click on extensions and open AppScripts. This is where all the magic happens, right? So let it load. It's going to be empty for you. I just have a little bit of code here. I'll tell you what each bit does. So const sheets is getting the entire sheet database, not particularly sheet 1, but all the sheets you'd have had in this database. But right now I only have one sheet. And then the next line is accessing that sheet and we'll input data into this. Alright, so what you have to do first is get the URL and then put it into here, and then the name of this sheet is sheet 1, so we don't have to change this. If we had changed this to something else, then we would have to change sheet 1 right here. Okay, so then this function do post is what will run every time this script is accessed. It's gonna get data from your website, and the data is form data, and it's gonna get each bit of that form that you choose and then append it row after row after row after row. So I have data.name, data.email already. I'll show you what I mean. So if we go into our code, you can see for my inputs I have input of name and input of email. You have to make sure the names of each input is case sensitive. So if I had a capital N for name, this would have to be a capital N. But it's easier to just make it the same and make it lowercase. So then one other thing you have to do is make sure you deploy it. So you click on deployment, new deployment. Make sure it's a web app. Execute as me. You could make it user accessing the web app, but every time someone wanted to input form data into your HTML form, they'd have to sign into the Google account, which you don't want. And who has access? Anyone. Description, form data from website, and then you click on deploy. I've deployed this already, but what you will have to do, it will show up a message something along the lines of you have to give access. It will show, like, it might show a warning sign, and just click continue to this form, and then you'll give this form access to your Google account. So then once you've done all that, you get the URL of your deployment, and then let's go to our JavaScript. So we have a simple submit function that will run every time it's submitted, and in case you don't know, e.prevent default simply stops the page from reloading, because if it reloads it might interrupt the process of transferring the data. So what we will do from here is we'll make a form form data is a new, and then is it, so I spelled const incorrectly. So what this line is doing is making, pretty sure it's an object. Well, this is I think it's an object that you use to send form data. There's other ways to do it, but they're a lot more complicated. This is the easiest way to do it. So now we'll need to send this form data. So we will fetch using the URL that we've copied from here, we paste that in. And then put a comma at the end of there, square brackets, next line. So in case you're wondering, I've practiced this before I started the video, so this is just showing what I've done already. And the method will be post, and the body is what we're sending. We don't need headers right now. Just get rid of that extra line. Alright, I think I'm missing a square bracket. Yeah. So the method is post, and the body is what we get from the form. So once this form is submitted, all the data in that form will save it as form element, and then change it to the suitable type, form data, and then we send that form data with this fetch request. Let's save that, and hopefully should work. So let me get rid of that. In your form database, your form sheet, you can just, the headers of the data don't need to be case sensitive, but just so it's easier to recognize, I just make it the same. So keep name and email right there, and hopefully when we submit something, it will work. So testing at gmail.com. The page reloaded. Did I not? Alright guys, I did end up figuring it out. I was getting a form with an idea of a form which I didn't have, so I just removed the hashtag which I was calling before. So now it should work, hopefully. Alright, so testing, and does it? Yep. And what you can do is after the fetch request, depending on the response, you can show an error message or show that the message has been sent successfully. But I can do that in another video. If you guys want to see it, just comment, and I'll see you guys next time.